Okay. I think it's good morning for all of you there, and it's good evening for LA. And all of y'all just finished Amrit Vela. So did y'all have a good Amrit Vela? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
And did you read today's Murli, meaning the Murli that we're going to discuss?
Yes.
Yes. What touched you from today's Murli?
To experience being single is being separation. So being the combined Swarup, and the way Baba has explained in this Murli, we can actually see that practically in the Lokik world as well. So very nicely he explained the analogy of being Suhagan.
Yeah. Well, I think many of you here are householders, is it, in this Zoom?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you would definitely relate this Murli so much. You have a lot of experience in that. And for me, and when I was reading this Murli, I was reflecting with the present, what I'm currently going through, and I understood, companionship. What Baba is trying to say. The two things that Baba emphasized in today's Murli is to, have companionship and to be fortunate. And Baba says, what does it mean to have Baba as my companion? When you get wed, you get a tilak, a sindoor, right? They put, and then you wear bangles. It's a sign of prosperity. It's a sign of a married woman. And Baba has converted that to a different meaning. Baba has given a different understanding of what tilak is. Baba is telling awareness. Am I aware all the time? Or does my awareness come and go as per, the company? Sometimes I could be more aware when I'm in the center, when I'm with like-minded people. And then when I'm outside, at law kicks, then maybe the awareness changes or just go a little missing. So to be wedded, to have companionship means to be always aware of who am I and who do I belong to, who's my companion. And then Baba gave the understanding of what to wear bangle is. Bangles are like ornaments. And actually it's also bangles, when you see it, also is a sign of status. If you have more and expensive jewelry, it means that you are in a high status. So here Baba is telling about bangles. Baba is beautifully connecting it with as a bond, and the bond is following Baba Srimad that keeps us close to Baba and close to the Brahmin family. Because even in this Brahmin family, there's so many sanskaras, varieties of souls, but the only, I would say, thread that's connecting each one of us is Baba. That's the only thing. You are connecting with Baba, I'm connecting with Baba, and so I'm connected with you as a Brahmin. And Baba spoke about that in terms of companionship. And then Baba spoke about the second aspect. What does it mean to be fortunate? And Baba gave 4 different categories, to check. First is, Baba spoke about, am I healthy? Physical health is okay. That's a different story, but is the soul healthy? Am I healthy? What did Baba share in terms of being healthy? Anyone can tell? Anyone who read the Murli? Only Rakhi Pendra the
Um,
Murli. Yes.
Healthy as experiencing that wealth, contentment, and happiness constantly, and having a healthy relationship, successful relationship, is that.
Mhm. Healthy. Baba was talking in terms of the sign that a soul is healthy is when the soul is in its complete purest consciousness. We say soul consciousness. And when I'm able to experience that consciousness, that means the body is separate and I'm separate, and seeing that separation, and I'm also able to see others beyond their bodies and features and attitudes, body language, words. I'm able to see them beyond all of these features. Baba says that is when it's a sign that the soul is healthy. That means the soul's vision is very pure. It means the soul is healthy. And then Baba's talking about karmic settlement. In terms of health, Baba says when the soul consciousness is getting stronger in us, is getting more, I would say, more deep in us, then whatever settlement we're going through, whether with people or whether this body, it doesn't make us feel vulnerable. It doesn't make us to suffer too much. One is physical suffering, but another one is mental torture, mental suffering. And we are able to settle, but untouched. And why I connected with this point so much, karmic settlement. This Tuesday that just passed this week, I had a sudden back pain, lower back pain, and prior to this week, 2 weekends before, we had huge Shivratri celebrations in different cities, and we had a lot of driving, 4 5 hours of driving to go to come. So there's a lot of physical work, physical movements, and then arranging everything. So I would say that, there was a little stress also in me, and also to get everything done. And this last Sunday was the last event, last Shivratri that finished. So Monday I felt very fatigued. I mean, the body felt very fatigued. So I had a good rest. And Tuesday in the morning, I got my back pain. And I was trying and trying, massaging. I was trying to do some exercise. Nothing was happening. And I was all alone in the center because the couple who, like Baba's right hand, they live like 2 3 minutes away from Baba's house. They were out of station. They were out of state, so I couldn't reach out to anyone instantly at that time. And then I waited till like 5 in the evening. I couldn't bear the pain anymore. Then I called one student, and so she rushed and came. And the beauty is that student, she's a mother. Her husband forbidden her not to come to the center. She had been coming before. She's in full dharna, but her husband wasn't giving cooperation. So he made her not to go to the center. And every time she would text me and she would call me, I'm missing the center. I want to come. He's not allowing, and all that. So I just texted her that Ben, I'm having tremendous pain. I can't stand, I can't sit, I can't walk. And then she said, I'm coming. Then she came, and the first thing I asked, is he okay? Is your husband okay for you to come to the center? And then he said, yeah, no, he's the one who told her, okay, Vinuben is alone. Okay, you go and help her. And she was so happy that he gave Sayog and allowed her to come. And then she rushed me to the emergency, and I was seen by the doctor. I was in the hospital for 6 hours, and it was late night, it was midnight. Then I kept on telling her, let your husband know that, things are getting delayed so that he's not upset. And when she went, she dropped me at the center. And when she went, he was actually waiting with concerns. Am I okay? Am I doing okay? And he was the one who told her, no, you go cook for her bhog and, make sure she's fine because she's alone. So my settlement, my karmic settlement with this body became a blessing for few other souls. One was her. And then there were other mothers also who were Bhandeli, in bondage. And what they did, all these mothers, they took turns to come to the center to cook, and they stayed. Each of them took turn to stay with me every night and to take care also the center and to take care of the students. And that was the first time they ever got a chance to stay in the center. And they enjoyed Baba's room. They enjoyed having Amrit Vela in the center. They enjoyed cooking bhog. So it became like a blessing for everyone. And I understood. Then I understood what Baba meant. That karmic settlement will become like a game, meaning it will happen at ease. And while I'm settling the account, I'm also benefiting people around me. And then I understood, what does it mean to receive support from Baba? Because sometimes I would tell Baba, you are very loyal to me. I don't know if I'm loyal to you. Sometimes I forget you. Sometimes I miss that. Sometimes I miss this. So I'm not consistent in my practices. So, Baba, does that mean that your love for me has reduced? Does that mean that your support for me has reduced? And I felt Baba was saying no. And this settlement for me, while I was going through all this, I really, really felt Baba's love. I really felt Baba's support. Despite whatever the pain the body was going through, but in my heart, I was very, very appreciative. And that's why I felt, what does it mean to be healthy? Is that awareness of being who you are and who you belong to. And that awareness itself will help us go through whatever karmic settlements we have. And the second aspect Baba said about wealth, to be fortunate also means to be wealthy. And Baba spoke about wealth for the soul is not money, but wealth for the soul is wisdom, gyan. And as much as we know, that much we would realize and understand. And just knowing alone will not be enough. Knowing and being, knowing and practicing. That is what Baba means by embodiment of Gyan, means it is not just having all the answers. It's not just knowing about science, knowing what's happening in the world, knowing Gyan. It's not just about knowing, but how much is it in my being? How much is it naturally in me? That means the soul is wealthy. And that also means the soul is virtuous. And then third aspect, Baba spoke about relationships. Baba said, if I don't have all relationship with Baba, then somewhere I will be yearning to satisfy that relationship through someone else, through a human being. And that is a big question mark Baba asked us to check. Actually, at the end of the Murli, Baba asked us 3 questions to contemplate, to check. And I will share what the 3 questions are. And then finally, Baba spoke about connections. Connections are people like with Brahmin family, especially Baba mentioned Brahmin family. You know why? Because it's with Brahmin families that we have the most karmic accounts. Not so much with other souls, but we've been together for so many births, for so many ages. We have the most karmic account with each other. And then Baba said, to have the foundation of having a good relationship with each other, understanding relationship with each other, is it will only happen when my connection, my relationship with Baba is strong and firm. Baba mentioned that the basis of your relationship with your Brahmin family will only be strong when your connection with me is strong. Because if I take Baba as my support, then I'm able to give support to others. Then I'm not expecting support from them. And when I'm not expecting anything from them, that is when you will realize, in Hindi they say what? Chappad paad ke, it just comes in abundance to you when you don't expect. That is when everything will come to you. And then Baba said, in connections also, 2 aspects is needed. One is vision, brotherhood vision, and second is to be very merciful. A person who is very merciful, they are giving. They are also very generous. And they also know when to give and when to step back and watch. It's not all the time I'm giving, because if I all the time keep giving, then I make someone else to depend on me. But I am giving in such a way that I'm also teaching them to be independent. That is also being merciful, right? So vision and a merciful attitude. Baba said this is very much needed when we are in connection with Brahmin Parivar. And then the final, the 3 questions. So before I go to the questions, is there any questions anyone here has, or anyone wants to share something? Anybody? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I often think, the love for God is a great way to remember Baba or constantly remember him. But when we go back to our workplace, or and it becomes easy when we are reading Murli, or when we are with the Parivar, right, in center. But when we go outside, it becomes challenge. So, what would be the method that we need to apply on our day-to-day life in order to maintain that consistency? Because we know that Baba always says constantly, right? Constantly remember me, constantly, experience yourself combined, all that. But how do we maintain that consistency? Would you like to throw some light, sister? MC, thank you.
Sure, sure. I will share one experience that I had. So there's this one mother, she's been with us for many years, with the Brahma Kumaris. But her husband was very much, he still is, against Brahma Kumaris, and she has a daughter, and her daughter is in, I think, early 50s. And this mother always had a lot of questions, even simple questions from Morley. And I used to think that, after so many years, she still has these doubts or these questions. So then one day she called me and she said that, Ben, my husband and my daughter, they keep asking me so many questions. I don't know how to answer them. Can I bring them to the center? So then I said, okay. And she is like 73 years old, and her husband is like 76 or 77 years old, and the daughter is in her 50s. So the three of them were going to come to the center. And that day during Amrit Vela, I had a very, very strong feeling that this discussion that I'm going to have with them, it's going to turn, it's not going to be, it's going to be ugly. It's not going to be a good discussion. So immediately I called my senior sister Geeta Ben, and I said, Geeta Ben, you must come here today because I live in a different center. We opened a different center. I've been with Geeta Ben for almost 20 years, and then we opened another center. So I'm there by myself. So I told Geeta Ben, you must come today. And I said, this family is coming, but I feel that today this discussion is not going to go smooth. So she said, okay. So she came. And as soon as they came, their energy was very strong, very negative. You could even feel that energy so thick. They came, they sat, and the husband and the daughter both taking turns, like bombarding questions. And it was almost like an interrogation. And they didn't even allow me to say anything or answer before I could answer one question. They went to another question and went to another question before Geeta Ben could say anything. And it really felt that they were not there to get answers, but it was more of accusations. And this went on for 3 hours, you know. And the husband, I think I can share openly with all of you here, so that you will know what's happening. In front of the wife and in front of the daughter, the husband asked, you sisters have brainwashed her, yeah, the wife, and you're teaching celibacy. If I want to have sex, she doesn't want to have sex. So where should I go? Should I go out? Yeah, you have broken my marriage. And I was looking at the mother. Chup chop, she would just put her head down and she was just listening. And then I was imagining how much torture she would have gone through all these years in her house. And when he went to the bathroom, just the daughter and the mother, they were there. So I just asked the daughter, as a woman to woman, have you ever asked your mother what she wants? What makes her happy? She has given her whole life to take care of, you, brother, the husband, and she took care of your children, her grandkids. She has given so much. And now she's in her 70s. Shouldn't she have a right to do what she likes to do? What she wants? Have you ever asked her? And the daughter was blank, straight blank. She said, no. She's married to my father. She must obey whatever my father wants. Then I saw बेटी भी साथ नहीं दिया. Even the daughter didn't support. Husband doesn't support. How much she's going through. Anyways, after that, the daughter, she was so mad. She was so upset. She said, oh, all of you, you just come, you brainwash everybody, you talk very sweetly. All you Brahma Kumari sisters, you talk very sweetly and then you build big centers and you sit there. And she just dashed out. After she left, because the center where I live, I'm in I'm in a city where it is highly Indian populated city. It's called Little India, right? And everyone, it seems everyone knows everyone. When I went to the grocery store, I would see every eyes would turn and look at me. And I feel like as if I'm on an X-ray. And top to bottom, they will stare at me, they will see me, they will check in my cart, my trolley, what am I buying? And then they say, oh, Brahma Kumaris eat this too. Till the time I enter the store, till the time I come out, I'm constantly being watched. And I started getting, all these random messages in the phone. Oh, you Brahma Kumaris are a very big fraud, this and that. And I start blocking this number, blocking that number, blocking these messages. And I'm living amongst all of them. It feels the moment I step out of the center, even to go for a walk, morning walk, and when I go to the park to go and have a walk, I would see ladies there, Indian ladies, they're also coming for a walk. And the moment they would see me, they're talking something, and then they're staring and look at me, and they'll be talking something, and I'll smile, but they won't smile. So could be something. And then for some time, I became hesitant to go to any shop. Students would always bring all the necessities of centers were met by the students. I'll always have there's a whiteboard and we will always write what center needs, groceries or every little thing, spoons, forks, napkins, everything, whatever center needs. It's all on the board. So students, they will come, they will see and they will get it for Baba. So I was very hesitant because I wasn't used to that um, that looks and that words and people staring. I wasn't used to that. But then later, I realized, Baba, I'm not making any mistake. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just, sharing whatever you have told us. And so if there is something wrong, that means you have to, it's on you, it's not on me. And then I told myself, no, you're not a darpok, you're not timid. You don't have to run away from people. Go. It's okay. Then I purposefully made it a point. I will go to the shop, even though just to get something, but I will go. It was me building up that courage um, to step out, to face the society, and whatever people have to say, let them say. So every day I had to build that courage to go. And then, yeah, I will get random messages in the phone. I will just, okay, Baba, this is also your child. You handle. Then I delete because the center's phone number is, the number is my cell phone number. We don't have a landline. So my phone is always ringing. So when you said in this condition, with Brahmin Parivar, it's easier to maintain that vibration. It's easier to be in that same understanding and practice. But when you step out, you're meeting people. Some may like you, some may praise you, some may defame you, some may gossip about you. You'll meet all kinds of people. But just say, okay, Baba, you are with me. I'm holding your hand. Let's face it together. Whatever it is, let's face it together. And they are also your children. I will keep telling, they are also Baba's children. They are also your family. It is okay. They may not understand now, but maybe later they would. Random souls, they will come from Swami Narayan or Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, or random souls will just come And then they say, oh, Brahma Kumaris, you teach this, and Brahma Kumaris, you teach that. And then there is one brother in the shop. He came, and I was, buying some vegetables, some groceries. He just walked up out of the blue, and he just came, and he was asking, Brahma Kumaris, y'all did this, I did that, and see, my wife is watching Shivani, and now she's telling she doesn't want to eat out. I'm a party person. I'm a social person. I go out. I have a lot of friends. She doesn't want to come with me, or she doesn't want to eat out. What are y'all teaching? You are teaching to break marriages. You are teaching to create misunderstandings. I just told him, brother, if you want to share, if you want to speak, why not you come to the center? We can sit and talk. That's all I said. We can sit and talk. I gave him the address. I said, this is the address. You come to the center, we can talk. This is not the right place. So then I took my trolley and I walked. But till today, the brother didn't call or came to the center. And then I realized that when I built that courage in me to face, Baba is also protecting me. Baba is also protecting the center. One thing I realized is whenever any negative soul comes to Baba's house, they cannot stay long in Baba's house because Baba's energy, Baba lives in the center, na? Baba lives with me, and they cannot cross that barrier, and they leave. So I realized Baba is protecting the center too, and Baba is protecting me too. So, answering your question, how are you going to face? No. Now the question changes, Baba, how are we going to face? Baba, what are we going to do? Not you. Alone, you cannot do much. Alone, you will get hurt. Baba, what shall we do today? Baba, how are we going to face today? Is a we, not me. Does that answer you?
Yes, sister. Thank you. Very beautifully explained. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? No other questions? So checking the three checklist that Baba want us to check and want us to contemplate. The first question Baba asked, do I feel full? Do I feel fulfilled in my Brahmin life? Do I feel fulfilled in my Brahmin life? In what sense? Do I feel that living, many people may tell you, oh, Brahma Kumaris have too many restrictions. Brahma Kumaris have too many rules, too many conditions, these, that. I don't know how y'all can live. We must live, we must enjoy life. But y'all have too many rules. Do you think Baba has given us too many rules? Do you think Baba has made our life tougher or easier? It's a
Easier.
personal question.
It's easier. And I just want to share
Easier.
one incident on this. I had my friend's Yugal asking me one day that how would anybody like to treat you? You don't eat this, you don't eat that, you don't go here, you don't go there. There's so much of restriction. How do you manage that? And after a pause, the only answer which came from my soul was, that's the choice I have made. And that choice is something which drives me. And he was actually elated with this answer because he said, I never thought that restrictions can be chosen. So that's the way one look at it.
Yeah. So every day, this is checking for us. Do I feel fulfilled in my Brahmin life? Or is there something missing? Second checkpoint, Baba's asking, am I aware of how fortunate I am? This aspect of feeling fortunate is not necessarily only there when I succeed, but even in my turbulence, even in my karmic settlements, do I still feel I'm fortunate? Excuse me. While I'm settling some account, it is giving birth to something new, something beneficial. But can I see that? And then, third question Baba asked, am I content in every aspect? And Baba said, treasures, relationships, virtues, service. Am I content? Have I done my best? Do I feel fulfilled? So 3 questions Baba asked. It may seem a simple question, but trust me, it's not that simple. It needs a lot of reflection. I may feel I'm content now. I may feel I'm happy now. But would you give the same answer when you are in a different situation? Would you be able to feel the same way when you are in a different situation? And this is what Baba is telling. If I'm able to answer all of this well, that means I am making the best use of my Sangam Yuga. It means I am living a very worthy life in Sangam Yuga. But if somewhere something is lacking, Baba says, then fill it up. Fill the void, fill the emptiness. Because our final test paper in this birth is our own weakness. Whichever weakness that we had been keeping it aside, that same weakness will come up. Say, example, ego. We can't say that we all have conquered ego. Yes, in some could be less, in some could be more. But if I'm always justifying myself, that is like serving the ego, you know, that's like feeding into it. That means that same weakness is going to be my what do you call my failure. It's going to be my biggest test paper in the end. So Baba saying that is, and if there is attachment, right? If I'm also justifying, no, I need these people, this is my children, or this is my grandchildren, or anything, and then I say, yeah, they are Baba's. Sometimes we say, yeah, they are Baba's children, they are Baba's, but internally, the my is there. Even though we may say this is Baba's, they are Baba's, but the mind is still there. Deep inside, subtly, there is still attachment. Then that also will become my final test paper. So that is why Baba is saying, instead of postponing or feeding our weaknesses and trying to justify different reasoning, why it is necessary, why this is okay, Baba says, answer these 3 questions accurately, then we will know how much work I still need to do in this Sangam Yuga, in this Brahmin life. Anything else? Anyone have something touched them? Something that you felt inspired from Baba's Murli? Raki Ben, everything is okay?
Yes, sister.
So what we should
Sis-
do now?
Sister, may I ask one more
Yes.
question?
Yes.
Um, we know that love is the great way to experience God, and that will give us, good experience, and also we feel that we are closely connected with God. I mean, if you look at it overall, love is the key to connect to God, right? So, uh, in a way, if I was thinking about this. So, how can we, or what are the different methods that we can increase our love for God? We
Mhm.
know one thing that we can think about the attainments that which Baba is giving us. And here, I'm looking at how one can think through it and then realize that I am so fortunate because I've been loved by God. This is all internally we are thinking. So how is there a different way that which we can use in our day-to-day life, which will also help us in our remembrance, in our yoga and all, right? So if you can share a little bit about that, that would be great. Thank you.
One is spending time with Baba. And during the meditation, the set hours that we have, our Brahmin Maryadas, evening meditation, Amrit Vela, in traffic control. So that is one, spending time with Baba. Second is explore, explore the Gyan. There are so many things that we still haven't understood. And for me, because I'm, scientist as in the professional background, so I explore science a lot, especially neuroscience. And the more I understand about science, the more I appreciate Baba's analogies, and what Baba is teaching is so advanced than what the scientists in this world are trying to find. And I feel very, very, very proud that Baba chose me and to give me this gyan. That for me, the depth, for me is depth. Depth brings me very close to Baba. Depth of gyan, depth of churning, understanding. And then the third is every time, see, when I'm driving or when I'm walking, I'm not sitting and meditating. I am meditating on the move, right? While I'm moving, I'm walking. But that doesn't mean that Baba has gone in the background. Baba is there, and I feel let's do it together. Let's drive together. Let's walk together. And then when I meet people, when I am talking to people, what happened is before my word comes, the first thing that people will pick up is the vibration. And I know there are days when I don't feel so great. I don't feel my connection is great. I knew that vibrationally, I'm not vibrating in a high note those days. And I feel like, Papa, I feel like you are far rich. You seem a little distant for me today, maybe because of this reason or that reason. And sure enough, the signals that I get, it's like the approach that I get from people, help from support at the right time. I feel that is Baba reaching out to me because I always say, Baba, The days when I'm not able to reach you, I want you to reach out to me. When I'm not able to connect with you, I want you to connect with me. I told Baba that this relationship is two-way. It's not I alone connecting with you. You also connect with me when I feel down, when I feel low. And sometimes I have very funny requests from Baba, like mischievous requests from Baba. Sometimes I say, okay, Baba, you said you can provide me anything. So I just, मन में जैसे मन में बाबा के साथ बात करती हूँ in my heart to heart conversation with Baba. Sometimes I say, Baba, today I am craving for pizza. Just out of the blue, today I'm craving for pizza. I feel like eating pizza. Can you make for me? Then I say, well, every day I'm making work for you. Some days you have to make for me too. Some days you have to cook for me too. So I put the request. And I don't tell that to any of the students. It's between me and Baba. And sure enough, there'll be one student, the brother, the couple that stays very close to Baba's house. They are in their 70s. And the brother, he loves baking. All of a sudden in the evening, he brought a tray of pizza. And then he said, oh, Vinuben, today I had a feel, I felt like I should make pizza. So I made one tray for the Santa. So he brought the tray. And I was like, oh, Baba even fulfills the tiniest desires, the tiniest desires. And he didn't have to. But, when you're having a relationship with somebody, you have full rights on them. You can ask anything and everything. And then you wait and see how Baba's fulfilling. That is why from childhood, I never asked anything, even from my parents, because whatever I would need, I'll first run to Baba's room. We have a Baba's room in the house. I would run to Baba's room. Then in my mind, I'm telling Baba, I want this, I want this. Okay, you tell my parents, you tell Amma and Appa to get for me, okay? But I won't tell. That was my deal with Baba. And sure enough, a few days later, the thing comes. So I said, Papa, if this is the case, this is our secret code. When I want something, I'll come directly to you and you make it happen. Doesn't matter. Today, tomorrow, next week, problem, I'll wait. You make it happen. So this childishness, you would say, or this say, with right. When you have it with Baba, Baba will do for you. And provided you are also doing what Baba is telling you, then that creates that intimacy. That creates that intimacy. And I'll do another last sharing. Many times the students, they are very sometimes they have concerns. Sister, you are living alone. Make sure you lock the doors. Make sure everything is locked and be safe. And I always told them, don't worry, Baba is here with me. They say, yeah, I know Baba is there, but you also need to be safe. So I said, okay, fine. And of course, I'm not going to be careless in that. I do close everything, but I don't worry too much. When a siren happens outside in the neighborhood, I'm not worried too much because I know Baba is here. So one time we had some short circuit happening in the house. So I had to call some workers to come and check all the electric circuits. There were two brothers. They were, Mexican. They speak Spanish. They speak very broken English. So they came and they were fixing something. And upstairs we have one room like Baba's room. So we have a big translate of Brahma Baba, and in a seated position. So when they were working upstairs, I was downstairs in the kitchen. I was, doing something in the kitchen. So the first day they finished upstairs. Then the second day they came, they finished downstairs. And then the third day they were saying, when will your grandfather finish meditation? We've been waiting. We didn't want to intrude him. We didn't want to go into that room. And I wasn't sure what they were talking. Then I went up and I took them to the room. And then they said, then they when they came near, then they said, "Oh, it's a portrait." But they felt there was a person, and they felt those eyes, Baba's eyes, was watching them as they were moving from one room to another room. They felt they were being watched, so they thought it was a real person. Then I told them it is, this is our founder, this is where I sit and meditate. And then, and then I said, okay, we have Rajyoga courses in Spanish. If you want to join, you can join. But that touched me so much that a third person can feel Baba as if he is there physically. He's present, he's living with me. And then I shared in the class, see, all of you were so concerned, and here a third person is saying Baba is here. So then I said, then why do any of us need to worry? As long as the house is pure, you are offering both. You are reading Murli, Amrit Vela, Baba's vibration. Why wouldn't Baba be with you? Why wouldn't Baba protect you? Why wouldn't Baba protect the house? You know. In another incident, the same brother who was coming to the center during Amrit Vela, he's from a distance as he was coming down from his car, and he was seeing that there is a light around the center, and he thought it was a street light or moonlight. But as he approached closer and closer, it was not a physical light, it was very subtle light, and it wasn't from the moon. There was no moon that day, but it was very subtle light around the house. So he came quietly and he sat in the classroom. I was also there, and we were doing Amrit Vela together. Then after that, he didn't say anything. But he's the brother who's always checking on me. Am I doing okay? Is everything fine? Do I need anything? For a few days, he wasn't checking on me. So then I asked him, how come nowadays you don't check on me? You don't ask anything. He said, oh, Baba ne jawab de diya. Baba has given me an answer. I said, what answer? Then he said, that day when I was coming for Amrit Vela, I saw there was this light around the Baba's house. And when I sat in the Amrit Vela, I felt Baba was telling me, who is protecting her? Who is protecting this house? I am here. You don't worry. And it was like as if Baba was stamping him and telling, don't worry, I am here. And that brought me so much tears to hear that sharing and to really feel, yes, there is two souls living in that house. In even though there is one body, but there's two souls, me and Baba. And feel you are combined with Baba, do everything with Baba. And then you will see all of this will increase your faith. Naturally, that love for Baba will be there. You never need to work hard to love. No, let it come natural. Is that okay? I think that is time is up, right? For all of you.
It's in the interest of time. I hope that gives Vijit Bhai the answer that he was looking at. Does that, Vijit Bhai?
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Thank you so much. That was very nice to hear, sister. Great experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Invite you for a quick meditation before we close.
You gonna play a song? Is it Rakiban?
Would you want to do a commentary or do you want to do in silence?
What do you usually do?
It's on you, sister. Whatever you say.
Okay. So then let's do a short commentary. So let me sit comfortably, keeping this body relaxed. And let me bring my focus to the center of my forehead. And visualize Baba standing in front of you. And as you look into Baba's eyes, you feel as if Baba has been watching you. And Baba has been listening to you. And Baba knows what you want. As I move closer to Baba, Baba put out both his hands in front of him, as if inviting me to hold his hands. As I placed my hands on Baba's hands, Baba held it very tightly. And Baba gave very powerful drishti. As if Baba is assuring me, you are my responsibility. I am taking care of you. I am supporting you. Don't worry. I'm here for you. And as I look into Baba's eyes, I can feel Baba's love, Baba's care. And I also know Baba will continue to love me till the end. And Baba will continue to hold me till the end. So let me keep this vision close to my heart, reminding me I'm not alone. I have Baba. Shakti.
Om Shanti. I just learned that when your faith in the Supreme, nobody can shake you. Thank you, Vinuben. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. and wish you a blissful day.